Welcome to the Easy Show.
Remember when I?
Welcome to the Easy Show. I am here with Mama E. I'm here
Oh
with
my
Mama
God.
E. I
I
hope all of you guys doing well. Turn on notice, comment if you want us to talk about any topics. Just give us suggestions, and yeah,
yeah.
we
Today
appreciate it.
we are talking about a topic somebody suggested or asked us to talk about, which
Mhm.
is dating and how.
What's the difference between dating
Yeah,
during your era and
my
my
era
era?
and your era, and I guess I thought about this topic as a possible thing we could talk about, but now I was like,
What you mean?
like I don't know. I just didn't really want to talk about it because I'm no
So,
expert when it comes to
so
dating.
how was dating in the 90s?
I don't even know if I can. I don't know. It's not like it is now. Put it that way.
But y'all talk. I feel like y'all communicate. I feel like y'all communication skills is better between each other because, like,
Yeah, we actually talked on the phone.
yeah, and you have that. You had to actually like be able to
Yeah.
talk to a girl.
So in the 90s, I had a high school sweetheart that I dated. So it's not like, I had a lot of experience
Hmm.
when I was that young. And then I've never been good at dating.
Yeah.
I
Why you
just
say that?
kind of, cause I don't like seek out to date.
You like your freedom, don't you? You one of them people.
It's not that. I just have to, it has to be something extraordinary
Hmm.
for me to be like, okay, I want to talk to you and
What you mean, like extraordinary, like great?
like
Hmm.
something different out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
So
So they can't be no regular
like
schmegular. That's what you saying.
it's not that I just like it has to be something different that catches my attention. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like money, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
What they do for a living, don't care about that. Like it's more like I look for a certain type of personality, one that stands out and that I can just kind of click with.
Yeah. I'm sure you know more about dating in the 90s though.
Dating in the night.
It don't
Well,
got
like
to
I
be all
said,
deep, but like
dating
just
in the
explain
90s,
how it was, like what y'all had to do with pagers and stuff.
we would write notes in school,
So
right?
y'all would pass notes in class and stuff, or
Yeah.
just like
Well, when
give
you see each other after class,
you give notes.
yeah,
That's kind of low key cool.
it is cool. Yeah, and you would just, sometimes you would pass a note, but after every class.
Yeah, I feel like you get tired of that eventually, though, don't you?
Never
Or what
did.
if you had to do?
I was like, in love,
What if you had to
in
do?
kitty love, so I could never get enough letters.
But what if you had to do your work and you didn't have time to write a letter that period? Would your significant other get mad
Hey,
at you?
writing that note's the priority.
Are you
No, I'm
serious?
just kidding. And then I have my own phone line, like
Hmm.
separate from the rest of the house.
Yeah.
So we would just talk. He was like not allowed to talk on the phone as much as me,
Hmm.
just because I have my own line, so I kind of have freedom. I could be talking at 2 a.m. if I wanted to.
So when you not on the so back then, if you were to talk and y'all were on the same line, if you like say if I was on the line but you wanted to get on the phone, I had to get off
Somebody could pick it up
and
and
listen.
be like, "Hey, get off the phone."
Wait, so you could listen to people's conversations though, can't you?
Mhm.
Oh no. I would have never talked on the phone. It would have been straight pager. I ain't gonna
Now,
lie.
yeah, there was pager. I was kind of reluctant to get pager. Like, I always kind of bucked against technology when I was younger because I'm like, I don't want somebody to having access to me anytime.
Hmm.
Like
So
being able to page me and
before technology was a thing where like y'all against technology, like it's just too much or
I don't think the majority of people were. I kind of
hmm
was because it was like I knew once you get into technology,
there's no going back.
yeah, you kind of have to stay with it or you get left behind.
Hmm.
So initially, I was just like, I ain't getting a pager. I don't want somebody being able to page me anytime.
Yeah.
But I finally got one. So for you now,
Boy oh
what
boy.
I want to say, because now I'm dating, so I can still give what it's like now. I'm not. Well, I'm trying to put myself out there to date.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm not really super intentional about it or really putting a lot of effort into it, but I've had some experiences. I can talk about how it is now dating at my age.
Hmm.
But for you, I wonder if it's the same for you because
Look,
People are different
our
now. Things
generation's
have
different.
changed. I feel like men want to be pursued more
Hmm.
now. They want the
I
women
just
to
feel
put in
like
all the
men are
effort.
holding women more accountable. That's what I think it is, and I feel like since men are holding women more accountable, then a lot of women are not liking it because they don't like to be held accountable for their actions. So they feel
Mm,
like we're sassy or we want to be catered, but it's really no, we just holding y'all accountable for what y'all
I
actually
mean,
for what y'all doing.
can I can understand that and even agree with
Mhm.
some of that. I think you're right a little bit. Like
Mhm.
I don't think it's fully one way or the other.
Now there is some man out there who's really like sassy and like want to be. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of men are just setting more boundaries. That's what I think it's
Okay.
happening.
So when it because I see a lot about like dating and women having these standards like, oh, I can't go to the cheesecake factory, or men, if they want to date me, they have to pay fully for every date and all that. How do you feel about those things?
I feel like if you can fully provide for your woman, you should. But I feel like if you're not in a position to fully provide for a woman, then go half and half. Let's just put it like that. That's the best way
Okay.
to settle it. Because it's just
Well,
like,
maybe if you can't fully provide, you're not ready to date
yeah, that's true. But
or
at the
ready to
same
be in
time,
ready for marriage for sure.
yeah,
But
um, I do kind of agree with like the man should be able to provide for the woman, like for sure. But at the same time, I feel like men just want the woman to be able to like do something for them every now and then. I
yeah.
always have to do something,
Yeah,
or it's just expected.
I'm not one of those that's like, oh, you have to pay for like everything. Even one person I was dating, we had this thing where, and this was like, kind of serious. It wasn't just like a 1-2 date, but um, if like we went to dinner, if it was under $50, I would pay for it. If it was over $50, he would pay for it. It
Mhm.
was usually over $50.
Mhm. So you
Um,
made sure it's over $50.
no, I mean, because me, I'm generous like that. I don't mind to,
Mhm.
I don't mind if they're a good person. I feel like men deserve to be dated too. I feel like if you're in a serious relationship and you are dating a good guy and they treat you well and they are taking you on dates and they're paying for that, I think they deserve to have that sometimes too.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like a woman can plan a date. So this last guy that tried to take me out on a date. Like we only had one conversation, but he was saying how um his previous dating relationship, the woman was just like wanted he paid for everything, but she wanted him to like take her on so many dates a month
Trips.
and yeah, and pay for every single thing. And just like going to dinner and like a movie was not considered a date to her. Like she wanted like thought out
You know why
things
it's like
every
that now?
time.
Because of social media.
Yeah.
Women see what other women have, and they're like, "Well, this is my standard now." When a
Yeah.
lot of them probably don't even
I will
deserve it,
say
to be
that is
honest.
one big difference from dating back then. Back then, I feel like the mindset could be different and you can focus on each other. Whereas maybe social media has changed it to where we're focusing more on ourselves and what we want.
Yeah,
When I don't think that's the purpose of being in a relationship is to serve yourself. I think it's to serve the other person. So
I
when you,
think it should be balanced. Yeah, you can't be in a relationship and it's all
yeah.
about you. That's
Well,
selfish.
both people should be thinking, well, this is just my opinion. Um, Not what this person can do for me, but what can I do for this other person? And if both people are thinking of that,
Hmm.
then you're not so concerned about just me getting my needs met
I think
because you
that's
got the other person doing that and you're doing that for the other person. You know what I mean?
yeah. I can agree with that. But I feel like dating in our generation is everything is for an aesthetic and just for show.
Yeah.
Just to get other people's validation. And it ain't even like for like every like put it like this. A lot of people just want a relationship for like Christmas or for Halloween or for Valentine's.
So they can post it.
Yeah, and then when it's summer, they want to be single. It's just weird now. Like nothing is really genuine. Um,
That's kind of sad.
and another thing, if you don't have status, if if you don't have more followers than the girl, then you're most likely
Really?
depending on. I'm not gonna say for every guy or all for every
Hmm.
situation, but if you don't have status for real, a lot of women are not gonna give you a
So
chance.
dating today,
You
like
gotta, you
they're
gotta have.
paying. I do know that people give out like their social media, their Instagram, instead of
Mm.
switching numbers. Like,
Yeah,
here's my
here's my
IG.
Instagram. Yeah,
Yeah,
to see if you got more status. If you don't got status,
I
it's
never
over
thought
with.
about that because I don't give out. That's I'm not big on
Hmm.
social media like that, and I don't really care initially what somebody else is picking, doing on their social media. But I never thought about how that. I mean, that's a thing that we didn't
It's
think
very
about back in the day.
competitive. Also, it's a lot of access to many people, or just.
Yeah.
And I don't really necessarily agree with. I think you should keep your partner private nowadays. To be honest,
What do you think about couples like following each other and being friends or whatever on social media? Do you think it causes problems?
I think it does, and I think it did in my last relationship a lot because like I would just want to be me, but I feel like everything is just based off the relationship now. Like, why you retweet this? Why'd you like this?
Why'd you
Or
like that?
yeah,
Why
and I'm
didn't you
just
like
like,
my
bro, it's a
picture?
yeah, or yeah, you don't like my pictures anymore. You don't comment. It's just like,
That's so crazy, right? I
yeah,
did hear something, and I don't remember the source, but it was saying how, money used to be the number one cause of divorce, and now I mean, I don't know. I know it was over 50%, but like most marriages now, social media plays an influence on people getting divorced.
it's it's very bad with our generation,
Yeah.
and I don't honestly see it getting any better. I don't see us really adjusting because everyone wants a lifestyle that someone else has. You're just constantly being compared to,
Yeah.
especially like celebrities. Like I feel like a lot of women in our generation are comparing how celebrities live to like um
Yeah. Or
people
not
who's not even like, I don't know. I don't know how to
maybe
really
not
explain it.
even maybe not even celebrities, like just like I see on TikTok, a man does all this for his wife or girlfriend, and then other women are like
They really
thinking their man is nothing
that
because their man
literally
is not
causes
doing.
problem in your
Yeah, they're
relationships.
like,
Like
well,
it's
he's doing
ridiculous.
this for this wife, and it's making them feel
That happened to me. I'm
unloved.
just like, why? What does our relationship have to do with their relationship? And it's just like, if a woman sees and everything, that's what I'm saying. Everything's for social media and validation. Like you don't even know their relationship. They can be having like the best time on social media, but it's the worst relationship behind closed doors.
Right.
And it's just constant comparison and constant like what I don't have. Like you said, it's just about like the needs or
And I mean, you do see like a lot of these uh couple content creators that are big and everybody loves them and they seem like they got the perfect relationship, and you see them break up and everybody's just shocked, and I'm just like, you do know, like,
they're normal people.
what they present. You typically what people present on social media is highlight reels. They're not showing. It's like if you watch Sports Center, you're seeing the highlights most of the time. You're not
Hmm.
seeing all the time somebody messed up.
Yeah.
So that's how social media is and how people present their lives and relationships. They're given the highlights, and then people only see the highlights and they forget, like, these people have real problems behind closed doors too, that they're
Yeah.
not going to show you everything. So it's death by comparison.
And another thing that's bad is like women want what their standards are out of pocket. Like it's just too much. Like they want what they are not. Like
Mhm.
you cannot want someone like I don't know. Like you can't want like the richest person in the world, but like you not even doing nothing in your life. It's just like the standards
I
don't.
will,
It's not. It
yeah,
don't match up.
I will agree with that. And I do think, and it's just my opinion, but I do think women are worse about that than men. I do think women set unrealistic standards. One thing I go by is I never expect, require anything that I'm not willing or able to give.
Hmm.
If I can't do it, or I'm not willing to do it, I'm not going to expect or want somebody else to do that for me. That's
Yeah.
just what I live by, and that kind of keeps it like balanced and fair. But
Yeah.
you're right, like a lot of people, and I feel like I was guilty of it in the past because I had these high standards, but I had to look at myself and actually be like, okay, can you meet this? Because sometimes we know what the standard should be or the standard we want, and we fail to realize like we haven't even gotten there yet, but we're expecting somebody else to be there.
I don't think anyone should have low standards. It's just be a realistic
Yeah,
about,
not
you
low
feel me?
standards to definitely be
Yeah.
realistic, but I think women are tend to be more unrealistic with standards.
Yeah.
Um, so, or we want perfection, and it's not just women, but we want perfection, and we forget like, hey, we're not perfect. So how could you expect perfection when you're not perfect either? So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, people like to take the splinter out of somebody else's eye and they got a 2x4 in theirs. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? It's like, how can you even see what somebody else is doing? Your stuff should be bigger to you than what somebody else is doing. But we kind of look past all of our shortcomings and flaws and all that and easily, see somebody else's. But really, we're supposed to get ourselves together first.
Mhm.
And then we can kind of analyze where somebody else is. You got to deal with the self first. So I would just tell you, like, in dating, number one, God is not the author of confusion. So if there's constant confusion between the two of you, not from God. God's not gonna put you with somebody or want you to be with somebody where there's a constant state of confusion for either person,
Yeah.
whether you're causing it or somebody's causing you to be confused. So it should kind of be, for the most part, like harmonious. Of course, I've never been married, so I can't sit here and act like, I got it figured out and I can
Yeah.
tell you like, oh, this is the recipe or something like that. Because I mean, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. But that's one thing I do go by is like, if I'm constantly confused,
It's not a,
it's not good. And another thing is, and we've talked about this before, about validating a woman's feelings, the woman you claim to love and care
yes,
about.
even if you feel like it's wrong, you still
Right.
got to make sure that like you're paying attention to how she feel. That was very big. That was my problem a lot in my last relationship.
And validating, and I think the problem was for you is that you felt like if you were validating someone's feelings, that meant you were agreeing with them, and that's not necessarily the case.
Mhm.
You can disagree with somebody and still validate their feelings. So, if I go to the man I'm with and I say I feel this way, and um they can either understand or not understand, but if they care about me and they love me, they're going to want me to feel better. And so, really, I mean, a big part of it is just saying, hey, I understand this is how you're feeling. What can I do to make you feel better?
Mhm.
And then for you, for men, um, you need respect to feel loved. What women find disrespectful could be different from what men find
It
disrespectful.
is because just be like, I feel like, oh no, like.
So just know that for women, it's not like sometimes it's blatant disrespect. You can tell, okay, they just don't respect me. But sometimes, like if it's little nuances or just little mannerisms or things like that, they may not know that you see that as a form of disrespect. So, I mean, it's up to you to like let the woman you're with know, like, hey, I find this disrespectful, and like communicate that with her to make sure she understands that's how you see it.
Mhm.
And then if she's not willing to work on that or hear you on that, then she probably don't respect you.
Yeah.
So once you've made it clear, like, hey, I find this disrespectful, or please don't do this or whatever, if they care about you and love you, they
They will
will they
change.
will try to correct. They might not get it overnight, it might take
Yeah,
time,
I
but
don't
they're putting
necessarily.
in the effort. So um but it's like, I mean, I don't know. I know everybody's meeting online now. I prefer to meet somebody organically, like in person, but just my personality, that's very difficult for me
Yeah.
because I like to get a feel for somebody this that before I
And there's
decide to
nothing
talk to
wrong with
them.
it. I feel like that's how it should be. I
Well,
think
online or
no,
in
I,
person?
person. I think in person, like you said. I feel like a lot of people in our generation, they want that '90s love, but it's just like it's not happening. So it's just like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it just a lot of people are confused.
What you know about 90s love?
I don't. I just know it was more authentic. It was just more real. It was more genuine.
Yeah.
Um, like now you can. I don't know. Like you had to really go out your way to hurt someone back then. Now it's not. You don't have to do too much to hurt someone. I feel like, and on top of that, I don't think necessarily having money is the most important for a woman. I think having clout or status is
Mm,
because it's the attention. Some women need time and attention. Others want to just be provided for.
yeah.
Like it just all depends on the person. But I don't know.
So, I mean, status and clout,
I think that's the most important because it's just like,
what?
say if your girlfriend's very beautiful, but you have like a lot of followers, she basically gets owned from you if like people know that she's with you. You get what I'm saying? And then I feel like by the time like people know like if she's attached to you, if her name's attached to you and she's like very pretty,
Hmm.
she can basically start like she can start her own like a new life and she don't even need you anymore because like she has everything she needs. I feel like that's how it is nowadays too. Like
So everybody's
you could get
just,
used for your like a girl may not necessarily it's just more like conniving, just sly, sneaky now.
yeah. Well, that's not a new thing for women, but
Yeah.
it is done in a different way now. And
Yeah.
social media, I mean, I guess dating it does just revolve around status
It
and being in the
does.
spotlight. And that's
Not every
so,
woman's like that though.
I know, but I mean,
But
yeah, younger
majority,
women, your
majority,
age, yeah.
yeah, majority are like, say there's this guy with 5,000 followers, but you got 2,000. She's taking a guy with 5,000 followers.
Oh my God, I can't believe you even have to think like that.
I mean, not every person's like that, but that's usually how it goes. I
Yeah.
feel like, or just I don't know. It's hard to find a good woman. You only I watched on the Bronx Tale, a movie. He was like, you're only allowed 3 good women in your lifetime.
Hmm.
So I'm just like, yikes. I think I missed one. I got 2 more left. Hopefully I can get right.
Be careful about letting people into your relationship, who you share information with, um, you know, getting advice. Even for me, I'm your mom. I'm and I'm going to be objective. If you're wrong, I'm going to tell you you're wrong.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not just
know.
going to take your side. However, even still, I only want you to go so far. I wouldn't want to know everything that's going on in your relationship.
One of my old girlfriends is just like, I like how your mom doesn't just side with you or makes you seem like you're the best son ever and actually like points out that like you have flaws. Cause some
Yeah.
other moms do that and
I
make it
mean, but
seem
I'm
like
not gonna put you down either. I'm
you're
not gonna
not
just
either,
gonna
but
put
you're
you
gonna tell the
down, but
truth.
I'm gonna make them feel heard and not just dismiss them just because you're my son for sure.
Mhm.
So
Well, I just think nowadays it's tough. I don't think every woman cares about status, money, and all that. But I think it's leaning more towards a lot of women care more about that than women that don't care. Like it's probably really, I don't want to say rare, but it's hard to find a woman who doesn't care about social media because that's all our generation is. It's just everything's wrapped into that. What you see, I don't know, women just see stuff on social media. That's
yeah.
what they want. Everyone wants what they don't have.
Mm.
So it's just like, but I don't know. I feel like men have a lot of problems too within our generation. It's not just the
We all
women.
do. I mean, there's issues on both sides. It's not just all on men or women.
No, okay. One thing I can say about my last relationship it wasn't all about status and money and all that. It
Yeah.
was just like I
It
had to
was
grow. It was like my first relationship for
you
real.
was doing too much liking and commenting
Nah,
and posting and
yeah, I was doing just too much, bro. But hey, I mean, we live and we learn.
I'm not like against dating, but I've just got to a place where I mean, I'm good either way. But I do hope that if I am meant to be with somebody or get married, that God kind of just like puts a banner over my head and seals me on their heart, and vice versa, so that like we just know there's no question, like
Mm.
there it's just like a divine alignment to where we don't have to deal with all that extra stuff. I don't want to deal with that. So,
Here,
but I'm here
you.
for you if you need advice ever.
Yeah, I don't really. I don't think I've ever really came to you to.
We did have a talk one time when y'all were arguing, and we talked about, that's when I talked about the
You
whole
told me I gotta
feelings
validate
thing,
feelings. Yeah, that's
and
probably
you
like
were
the only
just
time.
kind of thinking like, well, if I understand how she feels, I'm agreeing with her. No, that's not what that means. You don't have to. You can still disagree and still validate
Because I
feelings.
feel like, look, I feel like when it comes to that stuff, it's like if I disagree with you, it's like I cannot agree with you. It's
Okay,
like
but
there's
you
no,
don't have to
but
agree.
I feel like
And
a woman wants you to like. When I disagree with something, I feel like a woman be wanting you to like. You're wrong. I'm right. You feel me? Like I don't
and
know. Maybe it's just immaturity.
this is it's just understand that they're feeling a way. You don't have to understand why they feel the way they feel. Understand that they have feelings and we kind of operate off of that, and that just because you say, hey, I'm acknowledging how you feel and I want to make you feel better, does not mean you're agreeing with them. And you the most important thing, you don't do that only if you understand how they're feeling. You're
Okay.
99% of the time not going to understand why a woman is feeling the way she's feeling.
You know, that's what I was just about to say. You know what my problem is I don't think women are not logical. I feel like y'all are not like
Well,
logical.
I
Like
am.
like it's common sense. Y'all have common sense, but I don't think y'all are logical
Well,
beings. And
I,
I
I
think
think
that's what frustrates me.
I think typically most women are more emotional than logical.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the opposite. I'm more logical. Well, in the past, I've been more logical than emotional. Told you I'm in my soft girl or soft girl era, so I am being more emotional, allowing myself. And it feels good. It feels good to allow myself just to be more emotional and not so logical all
Man,
the
no,
time, because there's no logic in
these
love.
girls be resisting that soft girl era.
There's no there's no nothing logical about love. Not one single thing. So
I seen this girl post. She was like, "I'm trying to be in my soft girl era, but with these men, you gotta be the Hulk." Boy, that had me crying, laughing. Like I was like, it was so funny.
well, if I have to
Yeah.
be the soft girl by myself, I'll do that. But
Mhm.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying just not being so logical and just allowing myself to just be emotional being, not to the extreme, but just, just enough to be feminine,
Yeah.
you know. So,
I probably wasn't right about all. I feel like I was right about most of our generations, like dating advice, but I probably like miss some stuff.
well, I'm sure. I mean, just like I'm
But not
wrong.
everyone's gonna
Like,
agree with me.
well,
Just like everyone's might not agree
yeah,
with you.
I don't. I'm not the one to really. I mean, I feel like I could probably help you with some dating advice and all that, but like, if somebody my age came to me, I'm like, I have refrained from dating for most of my life, so I'm not the one you really want to come to when it comes to dating.
Mhm.
But as far as like how you need to treat a woman,
Women,
how you should love her, and just advice about women, I can help you with that. So
yeah.
I don't know how well it's gonna work for you in your generation, but
It's
I mean,
not. It's
I'll give
gonna
you.
honestly just get you played. So I just be
Oh,
doing
that's
my
so
own
sad.
thing. Yeah, I'm
That's so
not.
sad.
You can't be too nice, man. You gotta really like have boundaries and just like really have a brain of your own and
That's so sad.
not really chase no one. You gotta really be strong within yourself. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't be too much of a lover boy
the
these
da-
days.
the
You can be
dating
a lover
game
boy, but not
has
too much.
yeah, the dating game has changed for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much as we think, but social media definitely has changed some things for sure.
Hmm.
So
Oh, look, dating is cooked. I'm sorry. That's all I gotta say. Dating is cooked. If you find a good girl,
you better keep it.
you better hold on. Cause if you don't, you may not ever see that again in your life, for real.
Well, just
You feel
decide
me?
what's important to you. Just decide, know your deal breakers, have reasonable expectations and standards.
Hmm.
And when you get that and you set your standards and they're reasonable and you actually can meet your standards and are willing and able to give in return what you're expecting, then don't stray from that. Stick by it, but just make sure they're reasonable.
Thank you for tuning in to the Easy Podcast. Comment, like, subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'm sending love to you guys.
Oh, you're so sweet. You do have a good heart.
I do have a good heart. That's all I'm saying. Like, but
But
I'll
you
be
be
guarding my
you
heart.
be annoyed too. I love you.
I love you too.